going to pass around boxes. Feel free to grab one. All right, we've got Sean and Gerald here on their senior night. We'll open it up for questions for student athletes. And raise your hand. We'll get going. Hey.
Start of Sean, the dagger at the end of the game in the corner. It might be the first corner three of the year. What was going through your mind in that play? Just walk me through it.
We practice that shot like pretty much every day from around the arc, and figured you have to shoot that, otherwise why are you in the game? So put it up, went in.
Ben?
Senior night, as Kevin said, I know you guys were only here for 1 year, but if both of you could just reflect on your time here, what you learned, some of your favorite moments.
I mean, obviously, you come into the year, time moves fast. You can't take every moment for granted. But I just think it's just going to war with these guys every day, whether it be practice, traveling, playing away games, the tournament we had, if it's just the little things like going out to eat with each other. But, just embracing the little moments with one another and just, when the game day comes, just being ready to execute. I think that's just the best thing about the college basketball experience.
Yeah, I would say just the camaraderie that we have as a team. I think it translates to the performance on the court. And I think it's important that we've stayed together and we've really enjoyed moments with each other and celebrate each other's successes.
Okay, Sean, it was your last home game today and you were the first to score. How did you feel in that moment?
Pretty good. I hopefully was hoping that a few more of those hook shots would fall. But, just it's sad, but I'm also very appreciative of the opportunity that I've had to play as many games as I have. So last home game, but looking forward to these next road game and then tournament.
Cameron.
Yeah, can you, Sean, as you said, can you talk about next game at Fordham? Obviously, don't want to overlook that one at all because of the big implications for the tournament. But can you walk through, I guess, both how you're thinking about this last game and then also leading into the conference tournament?
Definitely. Every game's important in conference. You can't really rule anyone out, and we haven't seen Fordham in person yet this year. So it'll be exciting to play against them and head up to New York and hopefully come down with back-to-back wins before the tournament.
Gerald, can you talk about how you guys were able to turn the page after the loss against Loyola to come out so strong today?
Yeah, I think one thing Coach emphasized today was play to our identity. We're a defensive team. And, after having a game like we played at Loyola, it was definitely disappointing. But, we can't hang our hats on what happened Wednesday. We got to move on. And we brought it today, so that's all that mattered. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be ready Wednesday for Fordham and then ready to play in the tournament.
You talked about the intensity, especially coming off that Loyola game. It seemed like, that intensity really showed when you got that offensive rebound in, like, the last seconds in the first half. Can you just tell me what was going through your mind then?
Coach emphasized, last game we played them, they out-rebounded us. I think they had like 20 offensive boards. And Coach emphasized, he had a funny message to us, like he all wanted us to be Dennis Rodman's on the court. So, my mindset was just go get it by any means, and I think it played into our team's hands because it created extra possessions for us, to whether it be knocking down shots, making an extra free throw, making an extra layup, making an extra pass, taking time off the clock, those simple things. So I think that was the message this game, and we were able to get it done.
Obviously, coming out of the half, after a really strong first half, they go on a big run there and tighten the game up a lot. Can you talk about what you think they were doing right but how you guys were able to hold on?
Yeah, I honestly speaking, basketball is all about a game of runs. We were up 17 in the first half. They cut it down to 6, 7 points, and we stuck to our same principles. We switched up our defense kind of a little bit to give them different looks to mix it up to see whether they'll read it correctly. But other than that, we're just gonna stick to our identity, play our same defense every night, and we're the aggressors. Something that Coach said that was very profound is like, you're either the hammer or the nail, and we were the hammer tonight, so it was a good thing.
You started the game making a basket after that back and forth. Can you tell me, and then your free throw, can you tell me more about what was in your head to set the tone for the rest of the game?
I don't think anything changed for me. as the season has been going on, you know, everyone's roles have been changing, whether it be ball dominant, off ball, playing less than what you have before. But no, I didn't have a different mindset. You know, my mindset every game is just to come in and be an impact. You know, it's my last year. I just want to win. You know, we got the tournament coming up, and I think that's just the ultimate goal for everybody. You know, we don't got time for attitudes. We don't got time for people to get in their feelings, man, when the one common goal is for everyone is to win. So I think that was the main thing for me, is just do whatever I can to win.
One more question, John? For Gerald, so you didn't have like the most efficient night tonight, obviously, like 2 for 7 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3. But throughout the game, it looked like you still had that confidence in you taking those tough shots. You know, it just didn't seem to go in. So how do you feel like with the A-10 coming up and obviously the last game on the road, do you expect like that confidence to change, or is that just something that you're going to stick with?
No, I'm going to stick with it. I have to stick with it. I have to be my best for the team to be, you know what I'm saying, our best. They need me just as much as I need them. And I think my teammates, you know, it hasn't been the easiest season for me. But, I mean, without them, you know, I think I would be very lost right now. And, you know, to give them credit, you know, they still believe in me shooting the ball. So, like Sean said with one of the first questions, like, he's out there and we practice that shot a million times. You know, when you get in there, you got to be ready to take the shot and make it. And, unfortunately, it didn't go my way tonight, but Sean hit the shot when it most mattered. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, man, like I said, the main goal is to win. We don't got time for people to be in our feelings. We don't got time to be in our feelings as a team. We know the goal. We want to win an A-10 championship, and we want to get postseason play. So, you know, just stick with it. You know, it's no need for my confidence to drop. I have plenty of more opportunities to go show who I can be.
Yeah, and I'd like to jump in there and say our team, especially with Gerald, has, like, full confidence in his shooting. I see the work that he puts in every day. Multiple shooting sessions with coaches, and I'm gonna pass him the ball if he's 0 for 8, and if he goes 0 for 9, I'm gonna pass him the ball again. So I want him to keep shooting that shot.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Appreciate it, Joe.
Appreciate it.
Oh, you got the shirt.
Oh, yeah.
How'd you get one?
Oh, yeah. I got people. I know people. All right, we'll start with an opening statement for Coach and then take questions.
Yeah. First, it's tough to. I was getting a little bit emotional before the game because, love Coach Dumpf, hero of mine. I can remember growing up, going to the Garden, watching his Penn teams play, and then, obviously just loving college basketball, coaching against him when he was at Temple, being around him, having a really good friend in Bob Matty, who's like one of his best friends. And then, coming in the league and you're kind of like, man, I can't believe I'm coaching as a head coach in a league with somebody like Fran Dunphy. For those, it's a little tough, this year, just some of the people that are leaving have left. Coach Larinaga, obviously, Tony Bennett, and then going back, Jay Wright and Coach K and Roy Williams and Jim Boeheim, and kind of list goes on. So I thought today, would be appropriate. Michael felt that way too, that we, honor Coach Dunphy a little bit before the game. And then I thought it would be good for the guys to go and just shake his hand because, it's like that's the stuff you want to have a program that operates with class. And, I don't think anybody has more class than Fran Dunphy. So, bittersweet for me. I'm glad we got them. But just kind of sad, to be honest, for me, as it relates to that. But a great win for our guys. Jumped on them. I knew they would come back. It's a difficult matchup for us. Just the way they play is difficult for our team. And I was just happy that we were able to hang on and make some big plays down the stretch to win the game. But knew it would be a more difficult game. They've had two very, very close games, the last two out at home. And so they're not giving up. And I knew it would be tough. But happy that we got to 19 wins. First time since I told the guys March 9th, 2017. Some of you guys were still in diapers probably during that time. and first time in the regular season since 2016. So, we've had a successful year. We'd like to finish strong here. We've dealt with a lot of adversity, mainly, with Garrett's injury in the summer. But I think our guys have handled themselves very well, and we've been able to put together, I think, a good year and potentially a place to build off of.
Questions?
Another dominant night tonight for Castro. Can you just talk about his performance and how he's really come along?
I'm mad at him. He's making his free throws, and all of a sudden he starts missing his free throws at the end of the game. Like, he's really done a good job. But no, he the guy he's a great player. He has a big motor. He's obviously got such great measurables. He's big, long, athletic, loves basketball. Is a great in terms of like his mental, emotional maturity. Like, doesn't get too high or too low. That's what allows for consistent play, and I think that's what we saw and what we've been seeing from him.
We're just talking about a reflection on the season. So coming into the year, coming in with the freshman point guard, being a very young team, losing one of the best shooters in the country in Garrett Johnson, not being such a great three-point shooting team. And today it seemed like Water really found its level. I'm just curious, how do you think this season has gone, from that standpoint? I know there's been a lot of close possession games.
Well, best net ever. Best Ken Palm since, 2007, probably 16. Defense jumped up in the raw points per possession about 200 points. It's not that easy to do. And we do it without a guy who's probably our best player going into the season, to be honest. So if I think of it that way, we still got to finish. Like if we win on Wednesday and we have 500 in the league, well, that's only the second time been 500 in the league. My first year being 10-8, it's only the second time in 8 or 9 years. And then what I like to do is I like to go take every team in the league and take their best player off the team and say to yourself, okay, how would they be? How would they do? And then I would say to myself, yeah, we had a pretty good year then, I think that's really what it is, but I've been really proud, and it's been a fun group to coach. That's the other side of it is like, look, we have our moments like every group of young men that are trying to do this, but it's been fun. Like, guys have tried. You're playing 10 guys. Everyone's getting an opportunity. Also, everyone's coming out. Like, they're going in, they're coming out. Like, that ain't easy for players either, but quite honestly, that's been the best path for us with this team. If I go back 2 years, my first year, you guys are probably in here asking me about, well, why don't you develop the bench more? Now I'm developing the bench. So I just think every team's a little bit different, but it's been a joy to coach these guys, and we've been pretty steady, for the most part. Those close losses, we make a free throw at Mason, now we got 9 wins, and we're at 20 right now. Shit, we'd probably be feeling like even better, So I think you got to keep some perspective on that. But yeah, that's like a little game I like to play, is take the other team's best player off their team and see what type of season they would have. And when I do that, I feel pretty good about the year we've had. And I would tell you the last 2 nights, this 6 o'clock thing at the Smith Center on Saturdays, that might be the way to go going forward, because these crowds have been great. I just think, not to go off on a tangent here, but like, students look good. We can keep working there. But youth sports are, like my daughter had a game today at 11:30, semifinal. They won. They're in the championship, right? But like, youth sports are over. So by 6 o'clock, you might be able to get those families in to the Smith Center, and I think that's something Brian and Michael and everybody would maybe want to look at going forward. I don't like sitting around all day now on a Saturday. It's miserable, But if we can create a Smith Center like we've done the last two weekends, I think we got to be already thinking about that. So.
LaSalle had 5 free throws tonight.
Yeah.
You guys had 26. It looked like the free throws and getting to the line was what kept you guys in the game, essentially. They keep that lead.
Yeah.
That second half when the shot wasn't falling. So, can you just talk about like what the defensive communication looks like on the court and how like that really led to?
Well, I think our big thing going into the game was we needed to shrink the floor a little bit more. Our gaps needed to be better than they were up there, and with the hope that they wouldn't make 12 threes, but I didn't think that they could beat us just driving and kicking. It's not their game. So we tightened the screws on the gaps to start the game. That gave us a big lead. And then, to their credit, Lily's a guy, you could switch it to 5 there on him. If I had to do it again, I might do that. He banked one in, made one, okay. And then, so their threes are really they only made 10 twos. Their threes, they were not, only had 8 offensive rebounds. They were not good on the glass. They crushed us on the glass up there. So it was calculated to try to shrink the floor a little bit more and probably not put them to the line and not give them driving layups and things like that. That being said, we had to adjust late in the game and start to talk to the guys about, hey, we're in switches and we're in gap, but we're out of our gaps, and we can't now give up threes to end this game. And I think we did a good job of making that adjustment. Eventually, I think, you want to get to the point you have more better point of attack defenders. We just are not. We're a good defense that is not filled with great point of attack defenders. I think they've done it collectively.
Considering that Sean and Gerald have been your key players in the starting 5, how are you going to readjust to the change now that they're graduating?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be very active in the portal and feel pretty good about the idea of retaining what we have. But we're going to be very active like we were. I think we really hit it on those guys in terms of their character. They've both contributed. They both fit in very well. They're great guys. And so, I think that's the thing. You go look at the portal and you look at their statistics. You look at how they fit in on the court. But you also got to figure out who they are as people and do they fit in at GW and they fit in what we're trying to do.
Heading into one more game, obviously, and then the tournament, what do you tell the guys, especially with no game a week from today?
Yeah, we got Brian Kite, who's spent some time with our team. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but look him up. Brian will spend a little bit of time with us next weekend since we have the bye week. And he's a good friend of mine and somebody I've really learned a lot from. His dad has passed away, but it's kind of the whole doesn't matter, get better, E plus R equals O thing. They helped Ohio State, win national championship, years ago. So we'll do that. We need probably a little bit of rest. I mean, we had a very strange setup. 3rd game of the year or whatever, fourth game bye weekend, and then 15 straight, and really only one game on a Mason might have been on a Tuesday or something because of the holiday, and then the other guys, Bonnie's were on a Sunday for TV. But after that, we've played Wednesday, Saturday for quite some time, so we probably need a little bit of rest. We could use it. We could use having maybe 2 good practices in a row. It's hard to take the one day off now at this time of the year, get a lot done on the next practice. You can do some things, but you can't do too much. It's one good thing about having 10 guys that you play. You can get some reps and not overdo it.
Starting the game, GW carried a significant lead, and then it closed back up, but you guys were still able to maintain it. When you discussed with the team how to turn that around, what did you highlight?
Yeah, it's funny. We got a few stops and got out in transition. We just didn't convert some threes. I don't mind it, but again, I think our shooting woes sometimes can show up in different spots, and that was kind of one of them. I don't know how many. Someone would have to tell me, but we probably had like 2 or 3 reasonable ones after getting stops that didn't go, and now they get the ball back. So, we sort of settled in and tried to get the ball inside more, which we were able to do, get fouled. And then we needed to tighten up defensively, which we started to kind of sub offense, defense a little bit down the stretch.
8 different guys to score a basket tonight. Can you just talk about, the depth that you see for the future of this team, obviously with Fordham coming up next, and then the A-10 tournament?
Yeah, I think, the 10 guys gives us a chance to do some different things, and different guys can contribute. We still look at all, one of the things about playing a lot of guys is you got to really look at the different lineups. The starting lineup has been by far the best by every metric, right? And so, in theory, you try to keep that lineup in there as much as possible. The problem is to play defense the way we play, with the effort that we're giving and the flying around and the being aggressive and trying to steal the ball and all this stuff, which has really been a good thing for us. You can't play 5 or 6 guys. You got to really play 8, 9, 10. And so I know sometimes those guys that are coming in are not getting quite as much opportunity, but it's valuable opportunity. I mean, we went to LaSalle, we only had 8 guys. When I say eight of our 10 guys in the rotation, and Trey Moss was just getting back. He wasn't quite right in that game either. So we really were I thought it affected us in that game. I just thought we kind of ran out of gas down the stretch. Not that it's an excuse because a lot of teams play 7 guys, but just for us, used to playing 10, I thought it affected us in that particular game because we lose, in the last couple possessions.
So it looks like you built a team essentially that is able to stuff the stat sheet every night. I mean, Castro had that double-double with a career high in rebounds. Autry has every single statistical category filled. It seems like everyone's being able to do their part. So how important would you say having players like that would be with the A10 coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I think going forward, you don't want specialists, in college. In the NBA, they want specialists. College, you want guys to play the whole game. That's what, you want guys, Raphael's doing, points, rebounds, assists, steals, Christian points. Not quite as many rebounds as I was always like from him, but steals, assists. Trey Autry's really done a great job of that, and so. And Sean, obviously, and other guys, June's done it at times. So, just trying to find ways to get guys that are two-way players that play the whole game. I think that's what we're looking for going forward. And look, again, I'll use Garrett again. Garrett, actually, people talk about his shooting. He generated a ton of rim attempts. He got fouled a lot, and he rebounds. He was averaging 6 rebounds, so he's not really a specialist. I thought he would have taken another jump defensively as he got a little bit stronger and everything like that, and got his feet underneath him. So, to just add more two-way type players is what we're going to have to do. Abe?
I'm just curious. I know it's a non-GW question. It's a Jordan Miller today.
Yeah.
Got the 4-year contract from the Clippers. I'm just curious, as a coach, seeing your players, some of your players go to the NBA or be successful overseas. How is that from a coaching perspective?
Yeah, it's funny. When we were in Chicago, we took the team to Gibson's. Didn't work. We didn't play well, but we went to Gibson's, and the Clippers, Jay Larranaga was an assistant for the Clippers, good friend of mine, obviously. They were there, and they actually, our players got to meet Ty Lue, at the restaurant and stuff like that. And then I went to have coffee with Trent Redden, who's the GM of the Clippers, another good friend, and we were talking about Jordan, and he's kind of in that category of guys that, you're killing in the G League, but you're not going to play in the NBA when you get called up the way you're going to play in the G League. So you got to do some things to add value in the NBA that look very different than what you're doing in the G League. And then you get on these contract things, and it's close. So, but the indications I got on Wednesday were yeah, hey, look, they're doing some stuff with him right now to try to, keep him around. And so, look, it's hard to stay in that league. So first you get drafted, that's hard to do. Then you get a two-way, that's hard to do. Then you play well enough to get converted, that's hard to do. All this stuff is so hard, and so very happy for Jordan. He's a great guy, DMV product. I was only got to coach him 1 year, but it was a great year. Went to Elite 8. He was a joy to coach, and we tried to connect and get him over here last summer. It just didn't work scheduling wise, and hopefully, those younger guys in the NBA, he's got to be out in LA. He can't. You don't get summer off, when you're in that position trying to get converted. You need to be out there working. So, hopefully I'll get to see him this summer. But really happy. I've coached 11, 12 guys playing the NBA, so that's fun. And then, what I'm really proud of is, we've had 3 seniors here wind up in the summer league. Brendan, Ricky, and James, and so that's awesome. That's great for GW, and hopefully the more, we continue to build the program, the more guys are in that category and working their way, to getting their opportunity.
Anything else? Thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Who wants books?
Would you consider the GW tattoo on the top of your head? They showed a fan who was bald with a GW
Really got one?
temporary tattoo.